What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 10-Minute Strength Pod. Today, we're actually going to be talking about a supplement or a kind of a class of supplements in the form of weight gainers. All right, so I had a parent call me probably about a week ago, had some questions about a weight gainer that their kid was taking. They just wanted to make sure it was all kosher. And then actually this morning, I had a conversation with one of my athletes who had a buddy who had just dumped a bunch of money into a weight gainer, and it got me thinking. Like that, let's go ahead and talk about that. There's a couple different ones that we're going to talk about, and the purpose behind them, and why you should or shouldn't use a weight gainer, and who they're good for and who they're not good for. And to be completely honest, they're really not necessary for anybody, and we're going to go over why that is today. So first off, just understand that the supplement industry is pretty brutal, right? There's no oversight. There's no telling what's actually in the supplements that you're getting. I'm not a big fan of government oversight, but I think when things are marketed to kids, we probably need to be a little bit better about what we're putting out there into the world as far as supplements go. Supplements are also supposed to kind of supplement your diet. They're meant to fill holes. They're not supposed to be the whole diet, right? They should be the icing on the cake when it comes to your diet, and they can't be, the cake can't be made out of completely icing. All right, I'm somebody who loves sugar, but that probably wouldn't be the best thing in the world. They're packed with cheap, low quality carbohydrates. These weight gainers are, and that's one of the things that makes them super effective. A lot of them have anywhere from 150 to 300 grams of carbohydrates, and that boosts that calorie content, right? 300 grams of carbohydrates is going to yield you about 1,200 calories, and that's quite a bit. A lot of these gainers tend to have more protein than you actually really need in one sitting. We're talking about kids that, maybe weigh 150 pounds, and you're dumping, 50 to 70 grams of protein into their body in one fell swoop. And some of these kids are taking these things twice a day. It's way more than you need. A lot of these also, these weight gainers, these companies will pump creatine into these weight gainers in an effort to kind of command like a higher dollar amount. And we'll go over why that's kind of stupid. Again, it's just something that they do. A lot of them are incredibly low in fat. And right now, like when these kids, we'll say like ages 14 to even 24, 25, your brains are developing, and having more fat in your diet, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, that's kind of all the points I had just up front. So we're going to take a look at 3 different weight gainers that the supplement wholesaler that we use here at the Lion's Den, it's their top 3. They're the most popular ones, and we're going to kind of break them down and look at what you're getting when you do this. So first one's called Anabolic Mass. Anabolic Mass comes in a 6-pound tub. I don't believe that they sell a 12-pound, but if they did, this might change the prices just ever so slightly. But they run about $4.37 a serving. So in that 6 pounds, you're probably only getting 8 servings in this 6-pound tub, because you're taking 2 cups of this powder every time that you make a shake. That's a lot. Now, for that $4.37, you're going to be getting 1,270 calories, 7 grams of fat, 249 grams of carbohydrates, and 55 grams of protein. All right. There's no creatine listed on this one. This was the only one of the 3 that didn't actually have any creatine, and that may be why the cost is so much lower than the next 2 that we're about to go over. The next one is Serious Mass. This one's been around for a long time. It's made by Optimum Nutrition, and it's about $8.06 a serving. A 12-pound bag of it goes upwards of $130-something. All right, so you're looking at $8.06 a serving. That's insane. Like you could buy yourself a full pound of ground beef and enough rice to last you for a month for that cost. And what you're getting for that is 1,250 calories, 5 grams of fat, 252 grams of carbohydrates, and 50 grams of protein. But this one also has 1 gram of creatine. All right, really not going to do a whole lot for you. Most of the studies show that you're going to need upwards of 5 grams a day. And so 1 gram isn't really moving the needle all that much. I don't know that it really commands that extra $4 per serving that they're asking for, but they're asking for it. The last one we're going to talk about is called Critical Mass. Now, this one is $9.95 per serving. All right, so almost $10 every time you eat it, or drink it, rather. You make a shake, $10. You're doing 2 a day, that's $20. Just think about that when you're thinking about your food bill and what you could buy food wise that could have the same effect or even substantially more of an impact on how your body's going to grow. For that, you get 13 grams of fat, 90 grams of carbohydrates, and 51 grams of protein. On top of that, this one actually does have 5 grams of creatine. So with commanding that higher dollar amount, they're actually giving you a little bit more. But here's the thing. Creatine is very inexpensive. It's probably one of the most effective, least expensive supplements on the market. You can get 40 servings for $20 to $25 of just regular creatine monohydrate. It's really not this high dollar thing, and you're asking a lot when you ask somebody to dump $10 into a protein shake every time they make one at home. All right. So with that out of the way, those are the top 3. That's what the costs are. And when you think about that, if you're somebody who's going to be taking this twice a day, right, like a lot of these kids do, you're dumping anywhere from $10 to $20 a day. That's upwards of $70 to $140 a week, and that's upwards of $560 a month on a weight gainer that you could purchase food that is substantially cheaper and more nutritious for you, all in one fell swoop. Now, what I will say is a lot of the kids that take these weight gainers, or at least their parents that ask about them, their kids have all the signs and symptoms of somebody that doesn't eat nearly enough, right? One of the things that I have the kids that I train here at the Lions Den do is if they're struggling to gain weight, I ask them, hey, how's your food intake? What are you eating like? And I always hear the same thing. Man, I eat so much. I eat all the time. Like, all right, cool. So do me a favor. Next 3 days, write down everything you eat and then bring it into me and we'll go over it. And without fail, every single time they walk in, they hand me that sheet. Man, coach, I really don't eat that much. Well, no, duh, right? We know that you don't eat that much because you look like you don't eat that much. You may think you do because you're eating a slice of pizza, you're eating something that's really not like thought of as a great food option, but that doesn't mean that you're eating a lot. So a lot of these kids are severely under eating, and the first thing that they want to do is go for these weight gainers. And in reality, these weight gainers aren't like a magic pill. They're not going to do for you what you think they will. And they're expensive. Like, who has $600 a month to dump on a weight gainer that's going to give you, it's going to help you gain a little bit of weight. More than likely it won't. If you just ate food, you probably wouldn't need it. My thoughts on it, they're typically unnecessary, and you could do a lot better by making your own at home, right? So you could buy a jug of creatine that gives you 40 servings for like $25. That's going to break down to something like 45 cents a serving. It's almost nothing. You can take that. Actually, an at-home gainer that would be very easy to do and very inexpensive to do and would give you like a great macronutrient profile would be, let's even say like an Optimum Nutrition. All right. So the gold standard whey, it's a great whey. It's a good product, but it is a little bit on the higher side as far as price goes. You could buy a 5-pound jug of that's going to give you probably about 75 servings. You're going to get that jug. I don't know. Let's say we're paying probably about anywhere, depending on where you buy it from, $1.50 to $2 a serving. Right. So you start off there, you get yourself some whole milk, get yourself some kind of generic ice cream that you can buy by the gallon that's going to cost you roughly $5 a gallon. All right. And you can make those. And if you do it right, you can get out of there for under $4 every time they do this. And again, like let's favor whole foods. Let's favor like red meats. Let's favor, complex carbohydrates that you're eating as opposed to dumping this shake down your throat. And then all of a sudden, like you feel bloated, you feel garbage. It's not, weight gainers aren't typically a supplement that are going to make you feel super great after taking them. So get yourself like a decent whey protein, add some whole milk, add some ice cream of some kind. You could do peanut butter, whatever it is. And you'll save a ton of money. It's going to taste better. You're actually going to probably enjoy drinking it a lot better. These weight gainers, most of the carbohydrates in them aren't coming from sugar. They're coming from complex sources. So most of them taste like trash. They're not good. You're not going to look forward to drinking it. And at the end of the day, it's all about, finding habits that you can get into that are going to allow you to feel better about doing, right? Whether you're losing weight or gaining weight, you've got to put yourself in a position where you're going to look forward to, or at least be able to adhere to the diet, right? And these mass gainers they don't tend to cut it. So throw away the mass gainers, the weight gainers, You don't need them. They're a gigantic waste of money. Eat food, track your food, make sure you're eating enough. Make yourself your at home shake. I mean, even at the end of the day, hell, eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's and drink a quick protein shake. Like, that's going to do the same for you. It's going to cost you even less money, which is actually fairly surprising. And you'll be a lot better off. So don't feel like you need these weight gainers. As a parent, don't feel like it's something that you need to get them. Just eat. Most of these kids need to eat. And if you're someone who's struggling to gain weight, do yourself a favor. Write down everything you eat for the next 3 days. All right. Everything. You don't have to look at the macros. I don't need to know exactly how much of what you ate. Just write down, like, okay, I had 2 slices of pizza, or I ate a grilled cheese, or whatever the case is. Write down what you eat. Look at it 3 days later, and you're going to be surprised at how little you actually eat. All right. So, moral of the story, lesson of today: stop buying mass gainers, because they're a giant waste of your money. Spend that money on food and a protein powder of some kind, and you're going to have a lot better benefits going down the road. All right, so that's it for tonight. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.